Yeah, we were discussing about this importance of the study of vibration in the last class. So the most human activities involve vibration in one form or the other. For example, we hear because our eardrums vibrate and see because light waves undergo vibration. This point we discussed in the last class itself. Breathing is associated with the vibration of lungs, and walking involves oscillatory motion of legs and hands. So, this is just to relate how human bodies also activities involve vibration. So, and coming to the mechanical systems, most prime movers have vibrational problems due to inherent unbalance in the engines. So, this is one of the main problem. So, why there is an unbalance? Any idea? Why do we have an unbalance? You would have studied in dynamics, right? Yes.
Due to centrifugal forces, unbalanced couple.
Okay. So if there is an unbalanced mass, okay, if there is some eccentricity, so all these are causes for the vibration. The unbalance may be due to faulty design or poor manufacture. Imbalance in DC engines, for example, can cause ground waves sufficiently powerful to create a nuisance in urban areas. So these are some of the issues. The wheels of some locomotives can rise more than a centimeter off the track at high speeds due to imbalance. So this is a very dangerous situation. So it should not, rise more than some tolerance values. So in turbines, vibrations can cause spectacular mechanical failures. So because turbines is again a rotating element. The structures designed to support heavy centrifugal machines like motors and turbines, or reciprocating machines like steam and gas engines and reciprocating pumps are also subject to vibration. So these are some of the machines which are subjected to vibration. So it causes rapid wear. When vibration occurs, it causes rapid wear of machine parts such as bearings and gears, and it creates excessive noise as well. And it can loosen fasteners such as nuts. So I need not emphasize on what happens if the fasteners loosen when it is under operation. In metal cutting processes, you would have seen in the even in the machine shop, vibration can cause chatter, which leads to a poor surface finish. Whenever the natural frequency of vibration of a machine or structure coincides with the frequency of external excitation, there occurs a phenomenon known as resonance. This is the one which we were discussing. I was asking what is resonance, and some of you had given some answers. So, whenever the natural frequency of vibration, I have not defined what is natural frequency, I'll do that. Okay, of a machine or structure coincides with the frequency of external excitation, there occurs a phenomena known as resonance, which leads to excessive deflections and failure. So for now, just understand that resonance is bad, okay? And we'll discuss on what is natural frequency and all those later. And here you can see a picture taken from the SS Rao book, okay? So this is a bridge which is experiencing huge vibrations because of the wind, okay? So as you can see in the previous sentence, when natural frequency of a vibration of a machine or structure coincides with the frequency of external excitation. What is external excitation here in the bridge? What is external excitation?
Wind.
In which case it is a wind. Okay, it is a wind blowing. So that is the external excitation. So when that matches with the natural frequency of the bridge, then there occurs a phenomenon known as resonance. Resonance means what? It vibrates with very high amplitude. Okay, the structure, whether it's a bridge or a machine, okay, it vibrates with very high amplitudes. Resonance means very high amplitude of vibration, which can cause a huge damage. Okay, and that is something we need to avoid. So coming to the basic concepts of vibration before we talk about what is natural frequency and so on. Okay. So what is vibration? Any motion that repeats itself after an interval of time is called vibration or oscillation. So I told you there is no difference between vibration and oscillation. It is just that we call it as vibrations because vibrations are high frequency oscillations. Okay, so that is why we call it as vibrations, and the amplitudes are less as compared to the term general term, which is oscillations. Elementary parts of a vibrating system. What are the main parts of a vibrating system? We took an example of a suspension system in a vehicle. There, what we discussed was the mass of the vehicle. Okay, a vibratory system in general includes a means for storing potential energy, the spring. Okay, and the suspension system will have a spring, a means for storing kinetic energy, that is the mass of the vehicle is there, and a means by which energy is gradually lost, the damper we discussed as the viscous fluid, right? The liquid which you were seeing in the last class. So it is a viscous fluid which is the damper. The vibration of a system, can something else be as a damper other than the viscous fluid? Can you think of any other dampers which will dampen the vibration?
Sir, in electrical.
Can air damp the vibrations?
Yes, a compressed gas.
Yeah, air resistance also. Okay. So not okay, compressed gas, and also the normal air itself acts as a resistance. Okay. So even air can be called as a damper here. The vibration of a system involves the transfer of its potential energy into kinetic energy and kinetic energy to potential energy alternatively. If the system is damped, some energy is dissipated in each cycle of vibration. So I'll explain this point, this potential energy to kinetic energy. And then if the system is damped, some energy is dissipated in each cycle of vibration. Into what energy it gets converted? Energy is dissipated if there is damping. To what energy does it get converted? We discuss thermal energy. Okay. Difference between spring and damper. Spring stores mechanical energy and releases it when needed. Damper turns mechanical energy into heat, keeping the energy storing components from sustaining an oscillation. So this is the difference between spring and the damper. Okay. Only the damper can release that mechanical energy into heat. The spring just stores it as potential energy and releases that it has what energy? Kinetic energy. Okay. Again, stores it as potential energy, releases it, it becomes the kinetic energy. Okay. So spring just does this, but damper will take the mechanical energy, convert to thermal energy. Okay. So thereby reducing the oscillation. Okay. So this is the main difference between a spring and a damper. What are the three basic elements of a mechanical system? Spring, mass, and damper. Okay, spring, mass, and damper. Okay, now we'll just see one simulation. Okay, say suppose you have a spring over here. Are you able to see the screen, the spring and the mass and all those?
Yes, sir.
Sir, sir.
Yeah, you have a spring here to which I fix a mass. Okay, and damping, I'll say it is 0. Okay, damping, I'll say it is 0, and then just pull this and leave it. Okay, I'll just pull this and leave it. Look at what is happening. Here you have this potential energy. This is the kinetic energy. This is the total energy. Okay, so what do you observe? You have potential energy maximum where? At
Kinetic energy is minimum, potential will be maximum, and vice versa.
Yeah, but where it is? The potential energy is maximum at the compressed place and totally extended place. Okay, where is kinetic energy maximum?
When it is expanded, when it is
When it is expanding, sir.
No, kinetic
between
maximum at the center. This center you see. Okay, this line, this dotted line is there, no? When the mass comes there, the kinetic energy is maximum. Do you see that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is without any damping. Any doubt in this? Any doubts? It's just the law of conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. What is the next sentence? But can only
Can
be
be converted into
Stored.
converted to another form. Okay. So here the kinetic energy is converted to potential energy is converted to kinetic energy, keeping the total energy constant. Okay. Now I'll increase the damping. Okay, some damping I've given. Now what is increasing here? What is this?
Temperature.
It is a
Thermal
thermal energy.
energy.
It is a thermal energy. Okay. So what is happening to the potential energy and kinetic energy? It is going to
reduced.
0. It is reducing and going to 0. Okay. After a period of time, you will have only this thermal energy. Okay. The total energy is equal to thermal energy. Okay. So this is the effect of damping. So what has happened? The vibration has reduced. Okay. So I just disturb this initially, and then there will be kinetic energy and potential energy, and then the thermal energy will increase. Okay. So reducing the kinetic energy and potential energy. If there is no damping, what happens? There is no thermal energy. There is only kinetic energy and potential energy. Okay, will this stop? Will this vibration stop?
No, sir.
It will not stop. Okay, because there is no damping. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's look at the velocity. Okay, where is the velocity maximum?
midway point.
Yeah, that is called as the equilibrium point. Okay, the midway point, what you said, is called as equilibrium point. So at that point, the velocity is maximum. So why is this spring mass system not able to stand in a place? Like why it is not becoming stationary? It is because of the velocity. Okay, when it comes to the center, the velocity is so high that it again goes to the other side. Okay, do you see this? Do you understand why it is not able to stop?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now instead of velocity, we'll see acceleration. Where is acceleration maximum?
At the extreme and at the
Yes, sir. Endpoints.
Yeah, extreme endpoints. Why? Because the mass is there, no, it is pushing. Okay, the potential energy wants to get converted to kinetic energy there. Okay, so it is pushing the mass. So because of that, the acceleration is maximum at the ends. Okay, and 0 at the equilibrium point. Any doubts in this?
no,
Any
sir.
doubts, please ask. Okay, I'll just drag this. What do you see? Hello.
The motion is converted into rotator.
This is called as the uniform circular motion. Okay. So why it is called as a uniform circular motion? Let's look at the velocity. Okay. So let's not worry about displacement. Let's look at velocity. Where is the velocity maximum? Velocity is maximum at the center, that is equilibrium point. Okay. Now, what is this? What is this circle? What do you understand by this circle?
Change in velocities.
Is there a change in velocity here in the circle, in the circular motion?
Not in the circular motions.
So it is the uniform circular motion. Okay. So there is no change in velocity there. Okay. So what is this actually? What is the circle? Any idea? Have you used this before? You must have studied this in 11th or 12th probably. Uniform circular motion. Any idea? Okay, it is a projection of the position of the mass onto a circle. Okay, so when the mass is at the extreme end, the point on the circle will be over here. Okay, at the equilibrium position, when the mass is, this thing will be over here or here. Okay, either it will be over here or over here. Do you understand this? See, only the velocity of this thing is changing, but when it comes to the projection on a circle, the velocity is the same. Velocity is constant. That's why it's called as uniform circular motion. Are you able to understand this? It is just projection of this position of mass onto a circle. See, these are very basic and very important to understand. Please let me know if you have any doubts. I will not know whether you have understood or not. Please let me know if you have understood this. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is very important to understand mechanical vibrations further. Okay. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I say in phase, okay, and continue. Okay. So what will be the angle in phase? When there are two motions in phase, what will be the angle?
0, sir.
0 degree. 0 degree. Okay. See here, you are able to see the circular motion as well as this sinusoidal motion. Okay. Are you able to see this? This circle here, okay. This is the spring mass system. This red and blue are the mass. Okay. You have this spring and mass system which is moving to and fro, and this is projected onto a circle. Okay, this is projected onto a circle. The point on the circle is determined by the position of the mass over here. Okay, and what about this one?
Constant.
Sorry, what did you say? Displacement versus time. Okay, because x-axis is time, it is moving. Okay, x-axis is time, it is moving. Okay, so now this is in phase. Okay, suppose there is a 30 degree phase angle, phase difference. Okay, phase difference is 30 degree. You see 30 degree here. Okay. So how was the response? There's a red ball leads blue ball. Okay. Red ball is leading the blue ball. Okay. By 30 degrees. Now I increase it to 90 degrees. You need to understand what is phase difference. That is why I am showing this. Okay. So this is now 90 degree and you can see how it is. Okay. Suppose I change it to anti-phase. What is anti-phase? What is angle? Anti-phase or out of phase?
180 degree.
180 degrees. Okay. It might sound very basic, but understanding of this is very, very important for understanding of vibrations. Okay. So that's why I'm, even if you know all these concepts, also I just want to revise these things before we proceed into some mathematics. Okay. Understanding of physics is very important, and only then the maths comes in. So you see, it is out of phase. Okay, it is completely out of phase. Any questions here? Did you understand the uniform circular motion? Did you understand this thing? Have you understood all these three, whatever we have discussed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, what I'll be doing in this courses, it will be mostly like this. The virtual labs I'll pick from somewhere and try to show you so that you understand the concepts better. Okay. And thereafter we'll do some apply some maths on this. Okay. But before that, we'll be doing a lot of virtual labs. We'll try to understand what is happening with different systems. Okay. So this is called as a uniform circular motion. Okay, and this is the graph displacement versus time. Okay, so if you change the angle, the phase difference will change. The phase difference will change. It's a very small video. That's the spring and the mass. The mass is the paint box. Okay, displacement versus time. This is what you saw there.